Hello students, I am Himani Sharma, your educator. I warmly welcome you all on this YouTube platform where we are going to talk about UGC-NET here in this particular video, and also going to delve deep into the eligibility, like what's the eligibility if you want to appear for such a competitive examination like UGC-NET, and what are the qualifications which are required for the same. So some of you would be knowing what is NET examination, some of you would not be knowing. So let me make it easy for you all here by describing some basics about this particular examination. Correct? So what is a UGC-NET? In the introductory slide, I'm trying to introduce you to the basic concept of the examination. So this particular examination is held by the governing body, which is known as NTA, and it stands for National Testing Agency. This particular body is the one jiske under we see that this examination is conducted, and also this examination happens in two papers, paper 1 and paper 2. Now the catch here is that you will have to sit for a single 3-hour duration and attempt the questions which are posed to you from these two papers. Now paper 1 and paper 2, what are they? We are also going to discuss about it, but here in this video we are discussing about the eligibility and qualifications. Correct? So the total exam duration, I already told you, the total exam duration is 3-hour single window. Isse pehle initially there were some things ki usse pehle, like we had these times where we were supposedly taking this examination in two different parts, where paper 1 ke liye we had to sit for one examination and paper 2 some other time. But now they have just comprised it into this 3-hour single window where you will have to attempt the questions going forth and back here as well. Correct? So it's organized every year. Har saal it happens twice, mostly in the months of June and December. We see that these cycles are the ones which are organized. As I told you, the examination is organized by NTA, and 2 times it happens in a year. So you can fill the form 2 times in a year basically to gain eligibility as assistant professors. Now you all would be having some goals in your mind that what you want to be, and one of those goals after masters usually for a person or a student is that if you are into teaching, you want to become an assistant professor. So this particular examination in 83 subjects, so to say, happens because of the same reason that if you want to be a assistant professor or lecturers in the fields of humanities. Also, after doing or after qualifying for this particular examination, you can also get enrolled in PhD. So uske liye you will have to have your JRF or NET for that matter. Correct? So it happens in June and December, as I already told you. Both papers contain MCQs, multiple choice questions and all are asked in these particular paper, and we see that from both the papers, the total number of questions is 150 in its entirety, where we see that out of this 150 questions, 50 is for paper 1, and 100 questions are from paper 2. Right? So we see that the entire maximum of 150 questions are asked from this particular examination to test your knowledge in the subject specific area with 100 questions, and to test your teaching, research, aptitude skills in paper 1 with 50 questions. Right? So also there is one such thing which is interesting about this competitive examination, that there's no negative marking, so to say. So if you are willing to attempt n number of questions, like you want to attempt all the 150 questions which are posed to you or directed to you, you can without losing your marks. So there is no negative marking. Incorrect answer will give you 0 marks as well, right? Without deducting any negative things. Correct? It happens in the CBT mode, which stands for a computer-based test, which means that whenever you will go to the examination center after the centers are allotted to you for the examination purpose, you will have a particular computer system assigned to you, where you will have a screen in front of you with 150 questions. So you can scroll those questions, you can move forward from paper 1 and then directly jump to paper 2. That's up to you. How do you want to go about with it? You want to attempt paper 2 first? You want to attempt paper 2, right? Or paper 1, or so on and so forth. You can even jump in between these two papers. That's not a thing कि आप लोग ने अगर paper 1 start कर दिया है, तो you will have to stick with paper 1 only. You can move for, back and forth from these questions. The question paper is available in English and Hindi languages, excluding the language papers. Now, what do I mean by that? It generally means that the paper 1 is given to you basically in 2 languages, that is English and Hindi, correct? Excluding the language papers, which means that if you are appearing for English literature ka exam, then the second paper will not be having the paper in, the options, the questions in Hindi. The first paper would be having it in Hindi and English both, but paper 2, because it's a language paper, it will be having the entire list of 100 questions in English language only, and so is the case with the other languages as well. So what is the eligibility here? You need to first of all have a master's degree, and with master's degree, that too, if you belong to general category, you will have to have 55% marks without rounding them off if you're from the general category. If you are from SC, ST, PWD or OBC or transgender category, then the minimum percentage here is 50% again without rounding them off. I hope these things are being clear to you all, correct? For JRF, what is the age limit? This question sometimes is something which confuses the students. So we generally have seen that in the December 2021 cycle, so to say, the eligibility, because of COVID and all, the eligibility was increased by 1 year for that particular cycle only. But now again, the age limit for JRF, the JRF is Junior Research Fellowship, from where you get the stipend, right? So if you clear, you will be, have qualified, qualified your examination with GRF. And with that particular thing, you will get a stipend. Monthly stipend is decided and you will get the, that particular stipend. This particular thing happens, then it stands for Junior Research Fellowship, which the name itself suggests that you want to do research. You want to get enrolled in PhD, correct? The maximum age is 30 years as of UGCNET exam date. Correct? So right now, the maximum age limit, it has certain kind of relaxations and all based on women categories, LLM, etc. But majorly, it's 30 years. For assistant professor, it means if you have just cleared your NET. So we have seen students who have even, while applying on the application form, they have tick marked that they are appearing for NET as well as GRF. Correct? So if you have cleared your examination just in the NET category, you have not achieved the upper 6%, you have not qualified for JRF, then again your certificate will be valid for lifetime. But and all, there is no age limit here. We see JRF because of the fact that there are certain conditions which come along with that, but that is not the case with the NET people. But in most universities, JRF are preferred because they are the highest, the people who have attained the highest marks in the so-called subject-wise examination. Correct? So, what is the choice of subject? Mostly the choice of subject depends upon what subject have you done your masters in. So, as I have done my masters in English literature, I would sit for an English literature ka NET exam. Correct? So is the case with the person who has done in commerce. If someone has done his masters in commerce, he or she will be appearing for the NET examination of the same subject. Correct? So we have around 83 subjects in which this particular examination happens, and you can go through the list. You can see if your subject is there, you can apply for the same. Correct? So this is the relaxation criteria which I wanted to show you all, guys, when it comes to having the JRF and all. So for scheduled tribes, scheduled castes, ST, SCs, the relaxation is by 5 years. For OBC, it's again by 5 years. It means 35. right? If JRF ki limit is 30, 35 it would be. PWD, 5 years for general category, 5 years for OBC and 5 years for SC/ST. That is common for all, correct? For transgender, it's again by 5 years. For women applicants, it's again by 5 years. Research experience limited to the period spent on research in the relevant related subject of post-grad degree. So if you had done your research in some relevant field in your post-graduation, again, you can get the relaxation by maximum of 5 years. 5 years से ज़्यादा नहीं होगा, थोड़ा कम हो सकता है based on whatever topic, whatever relevant topic you've chosen. If you've had your LLM degree, then the relaxation is by 3 years. Armed Force Services में if you have served, the relaxation is by maximum again of 5 years, correct? It's conducting, as I told you, that the paper is conducted in various subjects. You can go to the NTA official website, NTA UGC-NET official website, and you can find the list of subjects in which this particular examination happens. So, of course, I have brought the most important ones here. We see humanities maybe, like we have English literature, right? We have Hindi literature. It happens in that we have social sciences, we have commerce, sciences, and you'll have to find whatever list is been, pointed out here, not really the pure sciences, so to say, languages, Hindi, education, computer science and applications, environmental science. This is the major list of the papers which happen. But of course, I have added this pointer here that it is not limited to this particular list. The list comprises of around 83 subjects. So those subjects you can go and scroll and find out what have you done your masters in, or you want to do your masters in the upcoming time, right? So basically, what are the benefits of clearing this particular examination? If you have just cleared your NET, that is your assistant professor eligibility, it makes you eligible for the role of an assistant professor in different colleges and universities, because that's the minimum criteria, that you should have cleared your NET, correct? If you have your JRF, you can have financial support in the form of a stipend, which is provided to you by the government, that too for your PhD purposes, for your research in whatever field you are interested in. You can move forward in that particular field, gaining the financial support from the government in the form of a stipend, as I already told you, right? So I hope this video cleared all your doubts when it comes to the eligibility and qualification which is required for a person who is going to appear for a competitive examination known as the NTA UGC-NET. Hope to see you all soon. Thank you so much. Have a good day. Bye-bye.